going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Main Motor Show. Please bear with me and stick with me, especially if you ride motorcycles, because this pertains to you who ride motorcycles, and this will pertain to anybody who's thinking about getting into riding, period. Whether it be today, tomorrow, the next day, a year from now, 10 years, doesn't matter. So, riding gear. What riding gear do you have that you ride with? I'm going to tell you my experience that I have coming from just dirt riding and dirt riding only, right? Okay, y'all know I have a long sleeve jersey that I wear, okay? And I wear long cargo pants, basically. See what I'm saying? I have like pants, right? I don't have a pair of dirt bike boots right now, but I'm working on trying to get some, but to me, the most important things to have is definitely a helmet, period. As long as you have a helmet, that's the number one most important thing. Everything else is basically second place after that. The next thing is, since I ride dirt bikes, I wear a pair of goggles 95% of the time, because you have to be able to have eye protection of some kind. Because if you can't see what you're doing and where you're going, you're not going to be able to ride. So whether you have a full face helmet like this with a pair of goggles, or a dual sport helmet that has the visor that opens and closes, or a sport bike type helmet with the open and closed visor that you can open and close, it doesn't matter. As long as your head is protected and you can see what you're doing, you know, you can protect your eyes from getting hit with something like bugs or dirt, dust, rocks, whatever, then you're golden. You know, you're like the cherry on top of a pie, basically. Then definitely a pair of gloves. In my opinion, gloves are also important, because to me, in my opinion, you're able to grab onto the bars a lot easier with gloves. It doesn't feel right riding a dirt bike or any type of motorcycle without gloves. I understand when you use your regular hands to grip the bars, you can actually feel what you're doing because of your nerves and natural feeling and everything. But what a lot of people don't realize or tell you is, when you go down, your hands tend to go down to try to stop you a lot of times, and your hands are rubbing against the ground, getting road rash, ripping up your knuckles, and all this type of stuff. And gloves also help. So if there's a lot of gravel or sand or bugs or plants or whatever flinging up, gloves are going to help protect your hands from getting chewed up by gravel and sand, dirt, and whatever type of other debris and bugs that might be flying up at you when you're riding down the road or the trail or whatever. Or like me, when you're going around corners and you happen to catch a branch of a bush or something, there's been more times than not that I've hit branches of bushes, and this was even before I had my bark busters or my hand guards, and I just had gloves on, and it still hurt, but it prevented my knuckles from getting cut open and ripping up the whole backside of my hand, like right here. You know what I'm saying? So these are the three biggest things for me, anyhow, for riding. Now, I understand a lot of y'all that ride bikes, that watch my channel, y'all are riding on the street, so you need to wear leathers, like a leather jacket, leather pants, or what, Kevlar pants, whatever, help protect yourself, and that's all mighty fine and dandy. I don't mind getting a road rash on my arms, my legs, whatever. I don't care. You know, I can deal with that shit. I don't use elbow pads and knee pads, shoulder pads, and all this shit because it's just extra shit that you have to put on. It's extra weight that you have to carry when you're riding, and it wears you out a lot faster. It doesn't matter if you realize it or not, or you think about it or you don't. It's just my opinion, right? I'm also wearing a backpack that I carry, you know, my cell phone, my keys, my wallet, and stuff like that, and at least 2 or 3 bottles of water or Gatorade or something to drink because I'm out in the desert. I don't want to get 5 miles from my truck and be thirsty and then have to ride all the way back to my truck just to get something to drink. So, and like I said, I'm working on trying to get a pair of motocross boots that go up to almost to my knees, basically, right? That help, and those are also important because it helps keep your legs straight, so it helps prevent you from breaking your legs, you know, your shin bones, your ankles, your toes, whatever, right? Now, I've had boots before, and unfortunately all of them, you know, over time, of course, have, you know, fallen apart, or they I just grew out of them, whatever. But you know, my thing, and yes, like I said, I wear pants, cargo pants, and I also wear an actual dirt bike jersey, right? But like I said, my top 3 most important things for me anyhow is definitely the helmet, eye protection, whether it be goggles or a visor, and gloves. Because if you don't have gloves and your hands are getting torn up and they start getting cracked open from the weather, you know, you're not going to be able to control the bike the way you should to keep yourself safe. Eye protection, because if you can't see because of the wind, sand, dirt, stuff getting in your eyes, you're not going to be able to see where you're going. You're going to crash. You're not going to be able to ride the way you're supposed to safely, and it's not going to be a good day. And of course, helmet, because if you happen to go down, guess what? You can't fix your head. I've said this before, you know, talking about helmets. A couple of days ago, I posted the video called "It Is Important" or something like that. But if you can at least have these 3 things for when you're riding, you're already ahead of the game. And that's, to me, my opinion, and I could be wrong, your opinion might be different, that's okay, but in my opinion, these are the most important things you can have: helmet, eye protection, head protection, eye protection, and hand protection. Everything else is just even that much more protection, and it's that much better. Y'all be safe, love y'all, and make sure you're protected. Always use protection.